Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving into one of the absolute most fascinating business survival stories of our modern era. We're looking at Airbnb's 2020 COVID comeback. We're going to unpack the exact strategies they used for crisis leadership and really figure out how they pulled off what, at the time, seemed literally impossible.
So you have to ask yourself, what do you actually do when your bookings completely vanish? Because that is the defining question of their whole ordeal. Almost overnight, global travel was completely shut down. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar pipeline that just evaporated into thin air. Imagine the sheer panic of that. How does leadership respond to a sudden absolute halt to their entire business model? Well, let's break it down.
The 2020 booking crash. It was a complete disaster. Honestly, disaster might be an understatement. Bookings didn't just dip a little bit. They flatlined. The bottom completely fell out of the company's financials. Staring down the barrel of an indefinite global shutdown, this was the ultimate test of survival. It's that exact moment where most companies would just freeze up, panic, or completely fold.
Slashing costs and pivoting. Now, instead of freezing, they moved fast. Their operational shift was beautifully simple yet super effective. First things first, they slashed costs immediately to stop the bleeding. Second, and honestly, this was the brilliant pivot here, they recognized that while international borders were closed, people still desperately wanted a change of scenery. So they aggressively shifted their entire platform to highlight local stays, places within driving distance. And third, they gave guests flexible cancellations, offering that kind of peace of mind during unparalleled uncertainty that instantly rebuilt trust.
The human connection.
Thousands. Now, this next step wasn't just some macro corporate strategy developed in a boardroom vacuum. It represents a massive scale of direct outreach to the very lifeblood of their platform, their hosts.
CEO Brian Chesky didn't just delegate this to a giant call center. No, he personally called thousands of hosts himself just to listen to them. Think about the emotional energy that takes during a corporate meltdown. Taking the abstract concept of listening to your customers and making it that tangible and personal, that is exactly what separated Airbnb from the rest of the pack.
A stronger comeback.
The speed of this recovery is just staggering. Look at this window. In early 2020, bookings crash and revenue tanks. By mid-2020, they execute the pivot, slashing costs, pushing local stays, offering flexible cancellations, all while the CEO is literally on the phone with hosts. And the result of all that hustle? By the end of 2020, Airbnb didn't just survive. They came back stronger and actually went public. From near total collapse to an incredibly successful IPO in a matter of months. Unbelievable.
Leadership lessons for survival.
If there is a proven blueprint to pull from this whole story, it really comes down to three core things. Number one, adapt fast. Do not wait for the storm to pass. Change your sales immediately. Number two, listen to your customers at a profoundly human level, just like Chesky calling those hosts. And number three, never be afraid to reinvent. You have to be willing to tear down your existing models to meet the reality of the moment. Which leaves us with a pretty vital question to reflect on. How will you adapt to your next crisis? Because let's face it, crises are inevitable. But as Airbnb showed us, a crisis does not have to be the end of your story. In fact, it could be the exact catalyst you need to pivot, reinvent, and come back stronger than ever before. Thanks for joining me for This Explainer, and I'll catch you next time.